Hello, my name is Rose Drew, and I am here with Faye Roberts and a bunch of amazing poets, and we are here to bring you poetry for all. And I'm so glad that you've come here tonight. I'm really, really pleased. I want to check and see if your applause is turned on. Some people applaud this way, and other people applaud this way. So just let me see if your applause is working. Yeah, thank you. I just had to check the functioning of the applause. Right. So tonight we have our interpreters are Dave Witcherly and Vicki Ackroyd, and they'll be coming up with specific poets. And our poets tonight are Faye and myself, Elmine Wolfhart, Val Horner, Kieran Wade. Then there will be a brief break. Then myself, Lauren Ruddick, F.R. Kesby, and Coley Metcalf. And that will be the end of our show. So to start, I'm going to bring up Dave Smith, who is with the Access team at the City of York. And I've kind of pressed Dave into speaking to you. So come on up, Dave.
Thank you. Good evening. You'll be glad to know that I am not one of the poets for this evening. It is not one of the skills that I have, hence the reason why I'm here to listen to what you've got, and you're certainly not here to listen to me. So just quickly, with the Access team at the City of York Council, we've been around for about a year now, and I just wanted to talk about the bombardment of consultations that are up and coming that will affect the disabled community within York. We have the Sensory Services Contract Consultation, which is aimed at the deaf and visually impaired and blind community. We have the Gaining Access Back to the City Centre consultation. The dates on page 35 in the guide I have now changed, so I wanted to give you the opportunity to let you know that. There's now Friday the 15th between 10 and 2. And Saturday the 16th between 2 and 4, both at the Friargate Quaker Centre. We will be writing out at this weekend to all blue badge holders across the city centre. You'll either receive a letter or if you have given us an email address, you'll receive an email address as well. We have the local transport plan. That's literally kicking off very soon. And between now and March, we will be contacting you about just loads and loads of workshops where we want everybody to come along. Very, very keen to make sure we meet with the deaf community properly, and we've been meeting Vicki Dixon to try and arrange how we can do that as well, because engaging with the deaf community is very, very different to the way we would do it either online or through the normal analogue processes. If you have any queries about any of that, you are very, very welcome to contact us at the CYC Access team. At cycaccessteam@york.gov.uk. It's in the guide anyway. Just to let you know, I'm registered blind. I have dyslexia and dyspraxia, and you're all very blurry. And it'll be great tonight to be able to just listen to the words that are being said as opposed to actually visualising it as well. And what a great venue. I'm definitely going to add this to my list of venues that we will use for accessible purposes. This is just beautiful, and the sound is excellent. Anyway, sorry, that's enough from me. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Dave.
Bye-bye.
And I'm going to sit down now and move the slides so that you can all read the words if you need to read the words or hear them or what have you. And so now I turn over to Faye Roberts, who's only driven up from Suffolk today.
It was only 4 hours. It's fine. I'm fine. It's okay. I'm just going to do a couple of little housekeeping things as well before we start with the poetry. One thing I'm sure you've all seen, the exits are there. But we want to make sure that you know that if you need to get up and move, if you need to leave for whatever reason, just to stretch, to get yourself more comfortable, or if, for example, because people will be bringing topics up here tonight that are going to be difficult, either emotionally or intellectually or philosophically, So if you need to take a break, you are very welcome to leave the space, take a breather, come back. We've not mandated that people give content warnings, but I think you can probably imagine there's going to be a lot of disabled rage happening on this stage, and there are going to be some angry things around pain and fatigue and ableism. So if you're suddenly like, actually, no, this is a trigger for me, feel free to leave, come back. Similarly, if you need to stim, if something has just got you moving so much, feel free to move it how you need to move. That's it, really, I think. You know, if you have any difficulties, just come and talk to one of the custodians or to Rose and I. We're just very, very, very pleased to see you. I'm going to start my part by describing myself, for those of you for whom I am either a blur or invisible. I am about 5'7". I'm wearing a fantastic, if I say so myself, black hat, and a red shirt, black waistcoat, black trousers. I give an overall impression, with the goatee and everything, of basically a goth that got lost on the way to a storytelling convention in a jazz festival. That's the vibe. If you're trying to imagine it, that's where I'm at. If I'd managed to wear the tweed earlier, it would have been geography teacher lost on the way to a storytelling convention, but it's fine. That button was falling off. I'm going to give you one poem, and it is going to be in no way subtly from the anthology that we put together. I am waving the extremely orange anthology at you with its purple logo on it. This is the fastest we have ever put together anything like this. It was, I think we did it in 3 days. Took longer to print than it took to put together, but we've got some amazing, amazing poets in here, not just folk who are here tonight, but also some of the best disabled voices in the UK. We've managed to get them in here. I'm very excited. And we're just going to do more of them, basically, and just get more and more lovely names out there and in print. Yeah, I'm going to find mine. This is called Cartography, and like I say, very subtly, look, it's in the anthology, £10 out there. I'm just saying. Cartography. This is the corner where you fall down, no matter how sturdy your stride. This is the first discovery of other, the muttering continuo to even your happiest tune. Today is a good day, a bright, right-angled kind of day, where the fight is invisible, sequestered, not a weight and warp in every gesture, flinch made flesh. Today, the pavement is level, and you can anticipate curves, lean into the gradient that strengthens, lengthens muscles, doesn't drag you dry-eyed to wash against its brittle edges. The first time you read the word friable, I really want to see how she signs this. I've been looking forward to this. She spelled out that mean. Okay. The first time, you read the word friable, you knew exactly how it felt under fingertips. You knew the texture of volcanic shards under tender growth. And nowadays, you know the caldera intimately, have mapped it, classified its clear signs and subtle grumblings, know when to duck and cover approximately. Some days are Sundays, hungover from nothing, drunk on stillness, the bitter dregs. Some days the earth rises, jagged and unpredictable, a punishment for too much, a punishment for not enough, a punishment for nothing. You step around it, add new calculations, recalibrate, it's that or stop, tumble to the bottom again. Your map is a work in progress, sometimes just a reminder of how much the tilt has shifted, how far it has yet to go, lines scrawled in fatigue and pain, and yet another accustomed route impassable. As the ground rises, your bounds shrink another inch, and you have to explain to visitors that this representation is not to scale. You point to that corner, this corner. Pick your biggest pen. This is not where the ground starts, you say, but it's the first pin in the map, the first landmark, the first plaque. It doesn't matter. I don't expect you to remember. It cannot matter. Oh, okay, let me do a swap. This is lovely. We get to see lots of different types. Lovely stuff. Right, so it's my pleasure then to introduce our poets for the first half. Elmine Wolfhart is a poet who I am very excited to witness because this program is basically made up of people whose work I really love and people who I have no idea about. And I'm trusting Rose because she has impeccable taste. So, yeah, Elmine Wolfhart is a bilingual poet whose work stirs the most extraordinary set of feelings. Even in that brief glimpse I've seen of the work that's in the anthology, there's an anthology. And she's going to come and give you her poetry. If you could please make her very, very welcome. This is Elmine Wolfhart.
Thank you so much, and thank you for that lovely welcome. It's such a beautiful space. So good to be here with you all. So I was born in the 1970s and grew up in South Africa, a deeply divided country then and sometimes also a little bit now. So I was very young and idealistic, believing that Mandela's release from prison in 1990 would change everything. But that's not what I saw during my summer as a rookie reporter on the court beat, South Africa, 1993. The brown man, speaking of the white loaf he took. Your Honor, because I was hungry. Standing in brown overalls, cracked sandals on brown, shuffling feet, on the brown wooden platform, behind the brown wooden stand, his brown, tired hands resting, a moment on the edge. Then the white wooden judge and her brown wooden gavel rain down blows, serving justice instead of bread. My hands are tied, she lied. At least that's what the rookie said. Thank you. I've got 3 poems tonight. This is number 2. So this is a bit of a shock. Women and girls with autism and or ADHD, like me, are 2 or 3 times more likely to have abusive relationships or to suffer from sexual abuse compared to other women and girls. So this poem is what happens when we, as parents, and I'm myself a parent, care far too much about the rules and about what others think of our children and our parenting. When I was younger, my own dear parents tried so hard to steer me with their disapproval that I never learned I was okay, just as I was. So I sought approval from other equally judgmental and withholding people, the ones I call the ladder people. When we punish children with withdrawal of our love, they learn pain from us. They learn that they need to earn our love, that they need to climb our ladder of approval to get to that safe place, that ever-shifting safe place as more rungs are added and more mistakes are made. They drift away, disappear across the wasteland of missed opportunities to reconnect, reflect, respect each other's lives and views and ebbs and flows. Do we really know that when disaster strikes, when they fall, fail, flail, that they will run to us or run away to find safe places with other ladder people? Thank you. So I was diagnosed with ADHD in 2019 and with autism 2 years later. And I have to say, one of the best parts of being autistic is how deeply I get involved with all my special interests and the joy and the connection that they bring when I meet others who share them as well. The restlessness that comes with the ADHD means that these interests often come and go really, really quickly with dizzying speed. But I think my passion for the wonderful world of fungi and the amazing mushrooms they produce is a keeper. So here is a poem that found me after one of my fungal forays. Fungal fronds frolicking in the fertile foam, further unfreezing my frigid, frayed heart. Lepista nuda, naked purple perfume of wood bluet blowing through the woods. I bloom, make room for liquescence as ink caps drip into ink. I link photo and name, cross-sections, perfection. Smells tell of poisons or visions. A saffron milk cap drips golden orange drops into fragrant red elf cups. Light-footed, I hunt at night, night's bright delight, as instincts fight to be free. Alive, I thrive, a fizzing fountain of fun. Phew! Thank you.
Wow, wasn't that gorgeous? Can we hear and see your applause again for Elmine? Because that was gorgeous. Okay, is Val ready? Yes, there, brilliant. Okay, so I will vamp while Val makes her way to the microphone. Val Horner is another poet with whom I'm not as familiar, but her recent collection, Gooseberries, came out with Stairwell Books, and is full of these beautiful poems that just encapsulate moments. You feel yourself utterly immersed in the words and the scenery. I'm really looking forward to hearing them in her own voice. Val, would you please make your way to the stage? Folks, can we please welcome Val?
Three poems, starting at the seaside with On the Beach. On the beach, only a dog, shaking rainbow drops and weaving manic circles in the sand. So just the day for skimming pebbles, scanning seas for friends or foes, lazing, gazing, waiting for the break, the ebb and flow of water sucking at my toes. I leap the last steep gap and stand, stunned by the sheen and shimmer of light. But no time for delay, for out of this cliff-sheltering gloom, the wind holds sway. shooing with salty breath, wooing with gritty kisses, whipping and waltzing me along the bay. The slap of my feet on wet sand, that dog is yapping at my heels. Breakers snarl, gulls scream. Shifting pebbles jar and grind. Clothes a billow, sleeves flapping, hair streaming, eyes crying. I am weightless. The clouds have gone into overdrive. Hey, Mum, look at me. I'm flying. Right down to earth with A for arachnid, with apologies to anyone who's got a little bit of a thing about spiders. I had always known the lid should not be lifted. Not that it was forbidden in so many words, you understand. However, one day, inevitably, some would say, I looked, more by accident than design, inside. At first, I thought there was nothing, just grit, the debris of years. Even dreams have an ending. But then, in a corner, I saw a spider. Black, hairy, and it has to be said, smiling. I must confess, I was puzzled. It was abnormally large, though nearly all head and legs. So how did it get in, and on what was it fed? Better perhaps not to ask. Just slam down the lid. Weeks passed, and then at last, dust on my mind. Have you seen how much light there is these days? Cluttering space and getting in the eyes. I opened it again. This time, believe me, it was empty. Now, I'm telling you this so you'll appreciate why I'm so careful where I put my feet and why I keep looking over my shoulder as I spin. Oh, won't you come in and draw up a thread? There's more to relate. There's more to digest inside. Right. So, right down to earth now, right down to earth. Just down the road, not Warmgate, but Fossgate. Do you know Fossgate? Fossgate. This is Fossgate Frolics. A soggy summer, squelching towards its close, undoes us with a touch of sweltering sun. And Fossgate is throwing a Sunday spree. No cars allowed, so pubs, bistros and bars flow out onto the street. fueling an urge for one last almighty holiday splurge. The Bluebell is booming with boozy cheer, the ambient manning a barbecue. Sweet smell of cola, warm wine and stale beer, aroma of frying onions and meat, sharp tang of whiskey and human sweat, mingle and thicken the rising heat. All ages, race, creed, sexual persuasion, loud-mouthed, anxious with anticipation. Hen parties heckle, high heels and bare flesh. Stags swagger and banter, couldn't care less, knowing that later comes bruising and bruise as darkness falls softly on foss and on ooze. A girl takes the cozy club music spot, soars, hits a high. All you need is love. Hush. There's a pause in our mindless clatter, forgotten the gorging and booze, transformed, looming close in this odd golden air, the towers of York Minster. They've always been there, condemning, confounded by late summer revels? No. Seen that before. Gross overindulgence, Dionysian frenzy. Nothing new there then. As always, days shorten. Dark times lie in store. Too late to say sorry. Don't know how to pray. Like it or not, we are in for the ride. Oh, go on then. Pour us another. Make mine a big burger, double chips on the side. Thanks for your attention.
Wasn't that amazing? And also just props to Vicky for just like embodying York Minster there. That was fantastic. So can we have another round of applause, please, for Val, because it was amazing. Thank you. Some of you may see out of the corner of your eye, I'm sitting there, it looks like I'm texting and I'm not paying attention, but that's in fact the opposite of what's happening. I'm waving hello to the live stream right now. We've got folk on YouTube who are watching us from the comfort of their own homes, or in Connor's case, from work. Hi Connor, sorry it's a late one. So yeah, we're just kind of, I'm just texting and telling everyone it's how amazing it is. Yeah, various people are sending their love, and we'll give that to you in the interval if you would like. So, our last act for this half is a young man it's been my privilege to get to know better over the course of the pandemic. The pandemic divided a lot of communities and made it very difficult for us to connect with the people that we loved, but it opened up vast new opportunities for us to connect with new people, to learn, to make friendships and connections and found family in all sorts of different ways. There are people here tonight who I probably wouldn't have met but for that. So, and one of those is Kieran. I've watched Kieran's work grow, his confidence grow. That smile just getting bigger and bigger, that very infectious laugh, which you'll hear it later, you'll know what I mean. Be prepped, because you're going to chuckle till it hurts, I won't lie. But you'll feel all sorts of other things as well, rage and sympathy, and you'll learn all sorts of things that you never thought of before. This young man can switch perspectives, give a new slant on old truths. He's just extraordinary, and I'm going to stop praising him up so much in case he's blushing too much and get him to the stage. Folks, would you please welcome Kieran Wade?
Hi, yeah, as Faye said, I'm Kieran Wade, and I was here last year under a different name. I looked very different. That's part of the reason my confidence has grown, which we'll go into. So, yeah, there's disability rage in my poetry, but there's also trans rage. So I've tried to emotionally balance this set, but I'm going to kind of depress you first, and then we're going to have a laugh together. So I hope that's okay. This one's called No One. No one cares about the disabled trans man. The NHS doesn't. He had a breakdown. No ambulance is coming. He can't actually harm himself. His carer can handle it. Sexual assault charities hope he finds someone, but they don't help people like him. His parents love him, but they have so much freedom now he's at uni. They welcome him home, but it's a good idea he stays there. After all, they didn't take son to France in 2014. Tinder doesn't care. Nice girl. She's going well. She thinks he's funny. Maybe they should. She finds out what he's lacking. And maybe they should just be friends. The queer community cares. They swear. But he passes too well to have actual problems. He's struggling with fitting into masculine culture. It's all toxic anyway. Even the transphobes don't care. He's just an inconvenience in their logic. Why would they hate him? He doesn't even exist. The boys want to care, and they try. They care about him, but they don't know how to care about his problems. He pretends it doesn't matter. His old friends are done with caring. They're sick of his bullshit, his trauma, his recovery. They don't even care enough to get angry anymore. He's easy to crop from pictures, unfollow, and omit from history. Maybe then he'll care more than he did then. No one cares about the disabled trans man. He's not even sure that he cares about himself anymore. What's the point in living if no one cares that he does? Maybe he'd care more if he was born right. If he could join a five-a-side team and make some friends. If his ID looked right. And no more arguments before cards and drinks. Maybe he would care if he had a name in this poem. But he doesn't. He's just a label. And when the time comes, he'll just be a statistic. A more complex member of that 55%. No one cares about the disabled trans man. Thank you. So I wrote that poem when I first came out. Didn't have any friends, wasn't really getting on very well. I'm pleased to report I feel a lot different now. This one is one I wrote when I was a lot happier. It's called Nothing Silly About a Goose. This is not a drill. Geese will take over the world. And we have slept on their power for centuries, and it's too late. All we can do now is wait in fear for fire and feathery fury. Since the beginning of modern time, we have mocked them, posing questions that begin with, who would win, 1,000 geese? Or the answer is geese. It has always been geese. We do not realise we are prompting them to organise. We coin the childish insult, silly goose, all the while upsetting their elders. I assure you there is nothing silly about a goose. I understand your reservations. I underestimated them too, seeing them as a kind of poor man's swan. I thought it would be goats leading us to apocalypse. Their leap, their determination, their kamikaze army attitude. They had all the signs, all the ducks, tricking us into feeding them bread. Their stomachs primed to explode on the pre-planned doomsday. But no, it's the geese. It has always been the geese. There is nothing silly about a goose. They migrate. They migrate to the south every year. That's what the textbooks say, but it's all lies, I tell you. They go underground, they plan, they discuss how to echo their new and improved hypnotising honks, how to plant even cuter babies. Don't believe me? Check your local area. Seagulls. Beware though, they hide under bushes, in drains, even in vacuum cleaners. Seagulls are their spies, recruited in return for a monopoly on chips on the beach. Goslings will be posing as pet dogs soon, trained to woof and everything. There is nothing silly about a goose. How do I know all this, you ask? They recruited me. The geese did. You see, they can't quite honk in human. Believe me, their inventors are working on it. But until then, I've been hired to translate. I told you, their powers of persuasion are strong. But anyway, here are their demands as they take over. By decree of the Royal Gaggle, brought to you by the King's Wedge, there is nothing silly about a goose. As they tie you in their little knot, there's some values they prescribe. all horns, trumpets, or anything that could be used to mimic the king's call are now banned. And the world's waterways are now off limits to humans. No jet skis, no boats, and definitely no fishing. Lastly, for now, feathers must not be used for any non-natural purposes. Further details of your new government can be found at each of your addresses, which will now be named nests. Failure to comply will result in a duck-duck-goose court process. You have been warned. There is nothing silly about a goose. I've only done that one so far in libraries and on Zoom, and I can just about get through it without laughing usually. But it's even harder when you can hear other people. We're going to get a bit more serious and heartwarming in my last two. So, since I've been out of trans, I've lived in Starbucks. Right? I know it's very capitalistic and very not good for like world politics, but it's a safe space. So I wrote a poem in Starbucks about Starbucks. Try your name, a friend said. In Starbucks. I wasn't too sure. I've never been a coffee shop fan. And Starbucks, wasn't that just a place for hair gel hooked hipsters to write their plays? Overpriced coffee, over Egdigo, over supported students. That's what I thought. That's what I said to you. I was really uptight in that February. The truth was I knew I'd like the name Kieran. And that meant facing some pretty big stuff. My friend saw this though and pushed just enough. I needed to do it. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear green aprons. I really didn't look like a Kieran then. On the 1st of March, I only felt like one. The relaxed showbird from the man behind the counter only affirmed this feeling. He also defended my slightly complex plastic straw request. These events kind of phrase among my friendship group. In a world where you can be anything, be barista Dan. It was a hot chocolate that led to a nod, which led to a name, which led to a man, one that I'm starting to be proud of. Lots of cultures have naming ceremonies. That was mine. Strangers, sticky tables, a single word shouted from behind a counter above David Bowie. We could even hear a street preacher. And one off occasion, and that's all it was supposed to be. But as more people gave their verdicts on my transness, spaces that were safe dwindled. More things went wrong. So I kept returning, drinking hot chocolate to wash over transphobic opticians, girl problems, protests, broken lights and toilets. It wasn't just the trans stuff either. Last year my care situation was rocky at best. My mental state even worse. So they helped me with chairs, drawers, electric sockets under tables, offered space to be sat, offered to call someone, and I started accepting, guilty of course. But they just kept being there. Without questioning how much the safety meant to me, they kept remembering my name. I know it's a job, but it made me feel like I mattered when I didn't often. I also ended up with a quiff for a bit and began writing a script. So I turned into a hair gel hooked hipster who was writing a play. one more from me, and I'm sure after the break you get back to serious poetry, but for this one, context needs to be, I'm at uni in Lincoln, and I'm 19, and all of my friends pretty much are straight cis guys. That's what you need to know for this. A girl in a club told me I was amazing. Spent ages telling me how glad she was she met me. Introduced herself to all my friends. A dream situation for any 19-year-old lad. It was just a shame she had some other things to say too. How it was nice to see someone like me out. That I was inspirational. She thanked my friends for taking me out. She asked in one of those voices if I liked Spider-Man. The annoying thing is, I bloody love him. On my birthday, me and my other disabled friend met two girls. They spent the entire night with us, doing what teenagers do in clubs. We agreed not to let them patronise us just because they were pretty. And we still can't tell if we succeeded. Squeaky voices mixed with sincere signals. This poem shouldn't be controversial, but it is. The disabled people in your brain don't drink, love, shag. So it must just be a me problem. Besides, people are just being nice, making sure I enjoy myself, making my day. I must not get any other attention. If I do, I must understand that a full-time disability is a lot to take on. They might not realise her face on an app, her full height head dancing to Macklemore. They don't owe me anything. It's nothing personal. Well, apart from the questions, I am a good deed waiting to happen. The spectacle in that story where you got really drunk, you're doing me a favour. You can make or break my night with your presence. Never mind my friend who invited me. You want me to be naive enough to believe you felt something, but not stupid enough to actually feel something myself. Of course, I should feel nothing. I lied. There's another poem in my set. I got confused. I got confused on the other. This is another stupid one, but it is kind of heartwarming towards the end. Stick with it. They don't tell you about the jealousy. That's what gets you. He starts off with the small things. The guy in the gym who takes his shirt off to jog. Lads who can kiss girls in clubs without a full confession first. Men who walk with the confidence of someone who knows how to shave and needs to. You know, the simple stuff. Then you catch yourself going down a slippery slope, looking out the window of a Mackey's, wishing to be any guy that walks past, even kids. You look at flashing Spider-Man Velcros, spiky hair, a Buzz Lightyear backpack, straining at the hand of a losing parent, unleashed to infinity and beyond. Well, to the table next to you to drop Hot Wheels everywhere. He's followed by a Barcelona Messi shirt in bright orange football boots, clutching a size 3 ball, clutching everything that you ever wanted. They began to squabble whilst their mum sighs. You know, boys will be boys is problematic, but surely it's better than fragile or unladylike. It's normal to be jealous of those with everything in front of them. Everything seems like an opportunity when you've got all of the answers, or at least when you've made a lot of the mistakes. What doesn't make sense to you, though, is being jealous of someone like Keith. Keith goes to your barbers. Keith has an Australian accent, a trillion tattoos, and a whole lot of bravado. Unprompted, Keith starts telling you about his workout regime. He goes on for ages. This doesn't surprise you because he looks like he could fight and possibly eat you. Everything about Keith is big. Arms, legs, and something else if he's only wanted anything to go by. Make no mistake, though, Keith is a fart. People respond to his club romance stories with sarcasm. Keith can't tell. You get discounted haircuts because your chart's that good. But as women walk by, stare through the window, and his tank top, you do feel envy. In fact, you nearly feel inadequate. Then you realise that with the chemicals flying through his veins, you'll definitely outlive him. In fact, he might not make it to your next haircut. You wonder whether the jealousy comes from the desire to finish a never-ending game of tag, a desire to detach from every memory of the girl that you were. But then you sit on a train, turn your cap around to shelter your neck from the sun and push out your cheeks. This evokes a giggle. You realise you've sat next to a little girl in a pram. She's not waving at you, toothless grin framed by wild bedhead hair. You wave back, look out the window. She stamps her shoeless feet, ruffling her grass-stained tutu, showing you she wasn't done with you yet. She has a fire of raw adventure nestled in the wrinkles of her cheeks. It warms yours into a smile. As she was demonstrating how much better her dinosaur raw was than yours, it hit you. She reminds you of you, and you don't even mind. Her mum has a tired expression that shows you she's doing a good job of being a toddler. She's just fully in life, no reservation, no gender roles, fragile, not her. Her tutu is great for carrying plastic dinosaurs and Lego bricks. Her mum thanks you as you leave the train, but it should be you thanking them. This girl has connected you to the you before, showed you how to love that version of yourself. Thank you. I am done now. Thank you for putting up with my chaos. I really appreciate it. Thank you, darling.
We are now going to take a little intermission.
A little bit of a break,
Little tiny
gentle
bit of a
folk.
break. And because we managed to crowdfund this thing in about 10 days, because the funding didn't happen this time, because this really had to happen and we did it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching us at home. Anyway, because of that, we want to make sure we do it really well going forward, so we have feedback forms on the table. They're in little tiny letters. I have some large print ones as well if you need that. And so when you have time, please do fill out the feedback forms. Of course, tonight is only half over. You must stay for the rest. So you can fill in a little and fill in the rest later. But anyway, right now, we're going to take a little intermission. We're going to aim for 20 minutes. Refill your glass. Say hi to your friends. Look at our marvelous merch in the hallway. And we'll see you back here in about 20 minutes. And thank you, everyone, for being here. And hasn't everyone been amazing? Wasn't Kieran amazing? Oh, one more applause, actually, to Kieran. Woo! One more applause for Val. One more applause for Elmine. And we'll see you back in a few minutes. right. Thank you, Faye, for hosting the first half. Yay! Woohoo! That was the grown-up part of the half. Now you have me. Right. Right. Thank you very much for coming back. Thank you very much for looking at our amazing merchandise, which, by the way, Faye almost single-handedly did by themselves in, I don't know, was it like a week? 10 days? Madness, really, madness. So it's all amazing, and you're here, and it's there, and thank you for coming back. Great. My little poem is just going to be very kind of subtle about how the fact that it can be difficult for me to walk. And this is going to be, for the younger people, back in the days when we had snow. So I know you've heard of it, but it's a thing you'll read about in books. But we would have so much snow that it could be 2 feet high, 3 feet high, shovel out the door high. It was high. It was really up there. And snow is tricky to walk on if you don't have balance and you don't walk well. So that's the only part of my poem which is subtly about tonight and about me. Yes, that's it. After the storm. When the plows allow, some cars travel with comical hats of snow, silent testament to their street-side status. I have a garage which shelters cast-off accumulations that I cannot doff, unlike my car's snowy cap at corners and red lights. On foot, I gaze dismay at this gray curbside mountains, no nimble mountain goat hooves for me, plodding leadfoot, tottering and unsure, up and down the smushy crags that yield or stall at random. But oh, how the night glitters, even moonlessly, lighting the garden to reading brightness, brushing out shadows neath the swings and the treehouse till the whole scene glows, as if lit from the snow-sheltered grass. Thank you. Rightio. So the first poet that we have up, our first support poet, is Lauren Ruddick. And during COVID, when our open mic went on to Zoom, like many open mics did, we met a lot of people that we otherwise would not have met, and such as Kieran and Lauren and many of the people, actually, that we've been working with the past several years. So Lauren is one of the folks that I met via Zoom. And where are you, Lauren, my dear? Lauren has a book recently out. Come on up and talk about all these things. I love Lauren's poems. Lauren takes you inside of their life and lets you know what it is like to be them. Welcome, Lauren. Yay. Woohoo!
I should don't do. Thank you, technical overload. So for anyone who hasn't read my bio, I am autistic. So if I'm not making direct eye contact with anybody, that is nothing personal. It's not that I don't like you. And this first piece just basically explains that, and I wrote it when I was diagnosed as autistic at the age of 27. So it kind of has an age. So it explains one of the lines in it. So I'll just crack on as per. It's called Eyes. They tell me it's rude not to look someone in the eye. But then they say, don't stare. Now I'm so confused. I don't see how to get things right. I can't control how I see things with my neurodivergent mind. But actually, I wouldn't want to see it all the same. I'm wired a little differently. Don't conform to so-called social rules. Find it hard to look at you when talking. It doesn't mean I'm being rude. I'm still listening, concentration and all. It just looks different to how the world expects it to look. I'm labelled as gifted, sensitive, just shy, weird, odd, and antisocial. Because I'm not the norm. The way I've gone through life so far, I've mostly been misunderstood, known as different, but not knowing why. Often bullied, many chose to be unaccepting and unkind. Because I did well in exams, didn't kick off or disrupt the class, I slipped through the cracks. Bullying, burnout, abuse, becoming chronically unwell, social masks stretched and scrapping for referral, knowing I was different but unable to see quite why. Anxiety, asexuality and bisexuality, suicidality, complex post-traumatic stress, they all came out and are with me, that fight's eased. 27 years of my life passed, now almost 28. Now, I finally have an explanation for parts of my life that had left me confused. Why I can't cope with routine changes and social rules gone mad. But mostly, it explains the labels others have placed on me. The results are in. I'm autistic, not rude or oversensitive, antisocial or mad. It's not a defect, problem or something I'd want to change. It's the way I am, the way I work, all I know and all I'll ever know. Judge my neurodivergence after you've met my eye, even if I don't meet yours. Communication is deeper than just speaking in meaningless conversation. Eye contact isn't the be-all and end-all of making real connections. I listen and I speak with my body and my words. Autism does not make me any weak or lesser. I might well appear weird to you, still, but guess what? I'm proud of my weird. Why should I hide it anymore? So I'm nearly 30, so yeah, that's aged a little bit. I can hear you laughing, Mum. So this next one, it needs a little bit of context around it. If there's anybody in the room that's neurodivergent, you'll know what I mean when I say rejection-sensitive dysphoria. Basically, when a neurodivergent person, it's not a junction, experiences what they perceive to be rejection, they feel it like 3 or 4 times as much as somebody who isn't neurodivergent. So it sort of feels to somebody else experiencing it as dramatic or overpowering. And this is kind of, I wrote it as the way to express how I experience RSD. Explosive. This hurts in a way that's impossible to explain. I don't want this. It devastates me. Rational brain has not kicked in. Emotional dysregulation on autopilot. Taking over. Rejection on a hair trigger. I explode. Emotionally. Snapping. Snarling. Rejection sensitivity dysphoria strikes. Tearing all the past pain and mistakes from inner seams buried deep. Swirling into a tornado of thoughts. Intrusive. I know they aren't my reality. It doesn't mean I can shake them easily. The pain of RSD is intense. Shattering of self-belief, trust, and relationships. Big emotions sometimes erupt into explosions. As you might have guessed, I'm a bit complex. This last one, I get a bit bored of people saying they're allies and then proving they're not. There's an awful lot of that, and being somebody who is a minority, it's not very nice, to put it nicely. So, yeah, I kind of wrote something about that, unsurprisingly. And it's called Ally. Girls, guys, boys, women, non-binary folks, trans women and men, bisexuals, arrows, ace, pan, lesbian, gay. Many more identities in the queer alphabet mafia. We stand out proud. It's not just about a month or a day in June or July. Pride is important. After all, the first one we had to riot for. Some of us, they tried to erase. Some of us purposely misgendered. Why not accept that my pronouns are she or he or they or z? Different to what you've been used to. So why is my choice a debate? Trans siblings have their existence debated. Just let them piss in peace. It's no one's business what's between their legs but theirs. Trans men are men. Trans women are women. It's no debate when it's human rights at stake. Change the picture. Be an ally to the Alphabet Mafia gang. The LGBTQIA plus people over here. It's easy to be an ally, but not just when it suits you. Be in the envy's corner when someone is mispronouncing by sheing her instead of theying them. Correct them and repeat. If you don't, who will? Have the trans woman's back when she's been purposely misgendered. Stand for trans rights. Bust the myths about aces and bi-peeps. We exist. Ask someone to do the research before spreading another myth. Bisexuals can be in a het relationship and are still bi. Aces can be relationships too. Don't need sex to be valid. Call it out. Homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, acephobia, toxic. Help nobody. Ask them why they think that way. To be an ally, learn about us, listen to us, support and back us up. Stand up for LGBTQIA plus rights. Give us a voice. All the time, not just when it reflects well on you. It matters. You lead, and others will follow. Pride wouldn't be a thing if we'd had rights.
Thank you so much. It has been actually wonderful to read your poems as I put the PowerPoint together. I get to see all of these things and watch them as they unfold, and it's been really good. It's also been really good watching you as you evolve for the past 2 or 3 years over the Zoom and then coming into the open mic. It's just been really amazing. So Lauren, actually, thank you. One more time for Lauren Ruddick. Woo-hoo! Yes. Now, very much like Faye was talking about earlier when they said, wow, I get to meet new poets when I come here, F.R. Kesby is someone that I've only kind of met through email and reading about, highly recommended actually, through Facebook. So, F.R., my friend, I cannot say much about you yet because I'm about to meet you. And also, I've seen your wonderful words unfold in the PowerPoint, but this is going to be fantastic. Now, I'm going to get you whatever stand you need, my dear. You got this lovely one? Yeah, we'll fix that next.
Well, I'll go for whatever this one is.
Do you need a stand?
No, because I'm not organised enough to print anything.
Wow. High tech. Love it.
Are we good? Can we hear me?
Maybe a bit closer.
Maybe a little closer.
Yeah? Oh, that's better. Yes. Forgive me, I'm not used to performing from the wheelchair. I usually stand up to do it, but sadly I dislocated my knee, so I won't be doing that. Just a point of order. I pause quite a few times in the poems. Don't be lulled into a false sense of security that I'm done and start clapping. I take a while to shut up. At the end, I will say thank you, so you'll know. The first one is tick. Tick, tick. We're running out of time, biology failing us one system by one. Barren and saggy, my skin sits with its emptiness day after day. Tick, tick, tick. We're running from time, dyeing greys bright pink, buying Lego and Doorables, painting rainbows on the 4 walls that keep out the beast we feel closing in on us day after day. Tick, 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 tick. We're running towards time, throwing ourselves into adulthood, changing childhood into childish, making old married couple jokes, buying colour-coordinated bed sheets and electric tin openers, and forgetting how to pretend. Tick, 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 tick. Time runs at us, bum rushing us at unexpected moments, out of breath on the stairs, in bed by midnight, last drink of the night, a nice cup of tea, scowling at children yelling outside. Time surprises us with anniversaries and birthdays, the pause when someone asks our age because we genuinely cannot remember. Salesmen saying, "Oh, you don't look a day over 30, and never being asked for ID. Tick, 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 tick. We run from time as it runs at us, the never-ending game of tag started in primary school and ending in a nursing home. Tag, you're it. The cat is sat on your bed. Nobody replaces your flowers. And you start to tell people that your life was full. You're not scared of the next great adventure. Tick, 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 tick. It's a lie. Thank you. Just to warn you, for those it'd be a problem for, the next poem involves a bit of shouting and a bit of rushing words, and also for those who unfortunately have to hear it, one line of me singing. I promise only one line. This is Hebe. Don't tell me, old man, that I am too young to know pain. You may have been coughing up coal dust when you were my age, but when I am your age, I will have buried more friends than your nan. I will watch them make bullets of your words and spit them into their wrists. Snowflake, identity politics, gender, pretenders with no more love in their pinky than in your baby booming heart. I will have spent decades watching the rising death toll of World War III fought in nightclubs and pride parades. Burnt my fingers on enough candles to light a path of blame from every vigil to your front door. It turns out you don't need epidemics to kill us anymore. And don't tell me, old man, that I am too young to know responsibility. You may have bricked and mortared yourself in by my age, but when I am your age, I will still live in a cage of thistles, sleeping on an avocado toast bed, bathing in iced macchiatos, and counting up just how many tins of off-brand beans I will need not to buy this month to make rent. And yes, I will still listen to synth pop, auto-tune queens, and songs about kissing girls and liking it, and watching a new generation of dances on TikTok. And yes, I'll probably still be watching reruns of Friends despite all its flaws, and imagine myself the first queer Disney princess. Because not everything has to make you think, man. Sometimes it's enough just to feel. And don't tell me, old man, that I am too young to know who I am. You might not have known by your age, but when I was this age, I was all I knew. Gay, lesbian, femme-leaning sort of pansexual, asexual, pillow royalty, gamer girl, fashion king, punk rocker with flowers and festival gems in their undercut, and yes, I am allowed to call myself cripple. You may be beer gardens and Marks & Spencer's dine-in for two for a tenner and re-buying the vinyl records you once gleefully replaced with CDs, but you have not had to fight tooth and nail for the gift of a label, had to keep a dictionary of self-definition to translate for every crowd, splattering your entrails to read your own future. Don't tell me, old man, that I am too young to know pain when I am barefoot in the world and you are the one laying paths of burning coals. When I am your age, I hope I know better. Thank you. This last one includes some Greek names that I will say wrong, which is a bit mean making someone else fingerspell them when I can't say them. But This is Future End. Phobos. Fear is where it starts. Whispers in the dark, half-truths mixed with downright lies, words twisted beyond meaning. It's someone telling you that someone else threatens your existence, your comfort, changes your way of life, wants to be in your space. It's hiding agendas under shouted propaganda. It is scapegoats and straw men and the start of us versus them. Eris. Unrest follows. The right side of history takes to the streets with placards and pleas, fancy dress and rousing speeches. They push back, expose fallacies, explain they're not coming for your property. They just want what is theirs, and you are in the way. They believe there is enough space for all, and they are willing to fight for it. Deums. The pieces are on the board, lines drawn on maps, demands drafted on the back of political posters. Tensions turn to hate, turn to violence, and the news reports 49 dead, 100 in concentration camps, 5,000 executed in 30 years. Yet we are the work of the devil. If we bite back, we set the movement back. Ennio, war. What is it good for? Victory. God's dethroned, building the future for people we will never meet. Thank you. Shut up. It's the awkward bit where I wait while you clap so I can say something else. Thank you very much to the translators. And thank you to Faye and Rose. And I am trying to sell off the last few copies, physical copies I have of my first book. It's a £5 if you want to come and see me. I do take card. Thank you very much. Excellent. Just going to slowly and awkwardly leave now.
Thank you. And now, one last round of applause for FR. Yes! Woo-hoo! So amazing, FR, to actually see you perform that and hear those words, because I've just read them and thought they were amazing. We had a little email about Baby Boomer. I'm like, yeah, and FR's like, no, I don't mean you. I said, I don't care. I mean me. I mean all of us. So that was amazing, and I love that. Thank you very much. It's been amazing. Right. And we have one last performer tonight. And this is Coley Metcalf. We're going to do a mix of song and also poetry. First, the poems. Well, Coley gave us our first really good tagline. When Coley came up to the, she came down to York. The car died, and then something else happened, and then the tow truck was coming, and then we thought, oh, God, you're not going to make it. And Coley got there at the last. For one poem, you did one. And we got the best praise ever. And it was, I felt so included, because poetry is so wordy, and I normally don't know what is going on. And that was wonderful. So you were so great in one. You really impressed us. And Coley, please come on up. I am so glad that you are here again tonight. Coley Metcalf. Yes. Woohoo!
Okay. Hearing people, please tell me if I'm clear enough, because I can't hear myself. Deaf people, I'm not signing this one. I'm going to speak this one. Is So, hi, I'm a deaf performer. I use a lot of BSL when I perform, and sometimes I just use my voice, and tonight I'm using my voice for 2 poems. I'm sorry, this one's got some swear words in it. Bad ones. Very bad ones. Anyway, this is called What? Where did we go? What did we do? What have we done? It's all gone wrong. Delete the apps, unplug the tech, kick off your shoes, give it a rest. Go walk in a park, splash in a stream, look at the flowers, hug a tree. They're all just sheep who blindly follow. What sort of people will they be tomorrow? The wisdom is fading. The climate's destroyed. There's fuck all ahead for our girls and our boys. But there's still time to change. Just put down your phone. Spend time in nature before it's all gone. Stop following fuckwits with too much Botox who think they're important because they're on TikTok. What sort of skills are they cascading? How to pout and be annoying. Play outside with your kids and your dogs. Get mucky, teach kindness, go fishing, catch frogs. You won't learn out from the new Insta craze, and before you're ready, you'll be in your grave. Your headstone will say, here lies a follower, a like on a reel, who had no willpower, no compunction to turn off the Facebook shite. May your gods go with you. I bid you good night. So get off the net. Go read a book. Tickle a trout and forget the hook. Be true to yourself, a pirate no less. Because this world is a bit of a mess. Go, make it better. Be free, be kind. Stand up for what's right, you're not fucking blind. Stop following idiots on social media. Think for yourself. Be generous, not greedier. Life is short and precious. You count. You are important. Over and out. This one is about me mum. My mum was an Irish woman. Oh, there's an interpreter there. My mum was an Irish woman, and it's a big part of my heritage is being Irish and all the jokes that go with it. I've grown up with them all, and I could tell you even more filthier ones. But this is all about me mum, Ma. My ma was an Irish barmaid. She wasn't very good at English, but she could reckon up the price of 2 lager touches, 3 pints of Orcs, a Blue Nile and a packet of pork scratchings, while at the same time charming the wife of Mr. O'Leary and telling Cold Stare Stan a filthy joke about 3 Irishmen walked into a pub. My ma was an Irish woman, smart mouth, easy with the swear words, and didn't take too much too seriously. Always had a tale to tell about Mary. They were always called Mary, or Irish Anne, or No Neck Sal. She'd start a story, and you'd hunker down in your chair, and the air grew still, and the gas fire blazed. Ma's eyes would glaze over behind a large frame specs, and she'd say, "That girl. Lived next door to Fat Arse Bell, across the street from One-Eyed Susan. You know the one. Her old man had it off with Florrie's older sister. You know, the one with the squint and the tash and the one leg shorter than the other. Her sister grew up with your cousin. Her mam used to wait outside the chippy for the scraps. They were terrible poor. Well, she died. No, not the girl. You know, the sister. No, the girl. Me ma was a sly go lass. Short-tempered, game for a laugh. Liked to drink and crisps and dips, pickled onion and tartar sauce. She smoked cigarettes. Not packet, backy. Beautifully fragranced flakes, wrapped carefully and rolled skillfully, one-handed with a quick flick, a lick of a sharp tongue to seal the gum, lightning fast, by me da. Golden Virgin, she called it, often followed by a dirty giggle. From behind the bar in the pub, she'd yell, "Oi, Ron, give us a roll!" Red Vauxhall tabard over a pale blue frilly top, American tan tights round skinny legs, peat-toed sandals dyed red leather, golden rings clinking on a wedding finger. Name badge on the left, just above her breast. Pat. Frequently asked by the male customers, "Can I?" Ma took it as it was meant back then, with a good humour and a "try it, Sonny Jim, and you'll be out that door and barred quicker than you can say, Jesus, she's fast." And then she'd laugh, head thrown back, tonsils on full show, and she'd pull him the best pint that had in years. Me ma was an Irish Catholic, blue all born, worked on the buses as a clippy. Number 37 to Stockton town centre and back again, through Ragworth, up Durham Road, past the cemetery, and on to Norton and the terminus. Smart in a uniform, ticket machine at her waist and cap at a jaunty angle over her mad Irish curls. She believed in God, but not the church. They stopped saying mass in Latin, so it wasn't hers, and anyhow, she married a proddy. But she still believed, in a way. Me ma was Irish to the core, used to sing songs of the Black Velvet Band and Rafferty's Motor Car. By the age of 5, I knew all the words to at least 7 rebel songs, the like of which are only heard in the back rooms of traditional inns with fiddles and pipes and borans, sung by folky types with rich voices, crooning all the words I heard as a child, except me ma had a voice that could shatter glass. And she belted out the beautiful words. And the dog used to run and hide. Me ma hailed from a long line of strong, fearless, outspoken Irish women. She was Stockton-born, me ma, but those just before came over to escape the Great Famine. Immigrants, illiterate. They landed and thrived in the slums of one of the yards off the high street. 14 in a family with an outside netty and 2 rooms and an outside netty at the bottom of the alley. Shared by 12 families, each with a dozen kids. They had nought and would have given you half. And so would me ma.
inside your heart you refuse to feel. And you live in a shell, you create your own hell. You live in the past and told of our war. And you dig your own grave, yeah, but it's a life you can save. So stop getting fast, it's not gonna happen. And you'll cry, but you'll never fall. No, no, no. You're building a wall. Gotta break it down, start again. No, 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 it won't happen to us. We've lived our lives, basically we've been good men. So stop talking of the war, 'cause you know we've had it all before. Why don't you go out there and do something useful? Oh, listen to the man in the liquor store. Yeah, anybody wanna drink before the war? Anybody wanna drink before the war? Anybody wanna drink before the war?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking.
worked on it together 3 years ago, Oh, 3 years ago, I think. And her name is Eve Conway. And it's the most beautiful song. And I hope you like this as well. Thank you.
From the sea, and how I kept you at reach. From me, tear me down another one. Did I keep you from that bird song? Did I keep you here too long? It was all for you. And I'll do fine. And I'll do fine. Without you here to rescue me, without you here to leave me be, without you here, there's just me and me, and we'll do fine. Close the door and take the key. Let this ocean lay over me. 'Cause you were paralyzed, or so it seemed to me. And we were crucified by hurricanes. Gently take my heart, believe my veins. In this land, it's so cold to rain. And I'll do fine. I'll do fine. Without you here to rescue me, without you here to leave me be, without you here, there's just me and me, and we'll do fine, fine, fine. And we were crucified by hurricanes. Gently take my heart, believe my veins.
Thank you, Coley. Let's have one more from everyone for Coley. who shows us how to dance with her hands and brings a visual component to the music for everyone. I just think that was amazing. Thank you. Thank you for F.R. Kesby tonight, too. Yes. There was a theme about revolution running through tonight, yes. Thank you for Lauren, yes. Pride wouldn't be a thing. Thank you to Karen. That was amazing. Thank you, Karen. Woo! Thank you to Val, who shows us that age is just a number. Thank you to Elmine for coming tonight and telling us things that I did not know, and I should, because I am everything you were talking about. I want to also thank Honey and Emily, who've been wonderful tonight and have been helping us at the merch table, helping us do all sorts of things and putting out the feedback forms. So thank you, Emily and Honey. Thank you, as ever, Dave Witcherly and Vicki Ackroyd have in turns or together been with us since 2018. And Faye, the grown-up in this group. I love you so. Thank you so much for all of this. It means so much that you come all the way up here every year. Oh my God, actually, you have helped make all of this. So thank you so much to Faye. Yay. Woohoo! And now a couple of words for our sponsors. What?
No, because we have to say, because this is the very classic Rose, isn't it?
No.
Everyone's amazing. Oh, I'm going to be over here now. No, stay there. This was, you see it in the introduction to the anthology, I get a little bit passionate about this. This was Rose's brainchild and soul child and heart child. She saw the gap where this event should be and said, oh, we'll just do it then, which is so very, very you. And then just drove through that passion and that capability to just make this miraculous space happen again and again and again. And then when we went, right, so we've got no money, and she was just going to do it on like her credit card. Which is the bit where I went, no, spreadsheets are going to occur. So, yeah. We made it. But none of us would be here. This wouldn't be happening, and it wouldn't have kept happening, and will continue to happen if we have to just crawl to do that, if it weren't for you. So can we have just like all of the applause and thanks? Thank you. We will be back. We're going to keep doing this in all sorts of different ways. You know, we have plans. It's going to be great.
When we're in New York, I want to always be here, if at all possible. They seem to like us here at the NCEM, and that is another place I want to thank. The National Center for Early Music, thank you to all of them. They made it affordable this time. They really did. They helped so much. Yes, so much for that. So much. I'm going to run along some slides now for words from our sponsors, because we really did this with a lot of help, amazing amounts of help. Are we going to read them all? I'm going to try. Well, first of all, thank you to our interpreters, Vicki and Dave, our amazing support poets, and I've done all this part, and Emily and Honey, I've misspelled your name, Honey, forgive me, and filming, this is the last part. I really have to make sure we thank Sandy McGee, who came down from Edinburgh today to do this event. That is cool. Woo! Yes. Wow, and many more thanks, more and more and more. Another slide, and then thank you, Faye and Kieran and Coley, our headliners and hosts. Une autre slide. And you guys, and all of these are the folks that helped donate about 1,800 pounds in a matter of 10 days to help this come together. This is absolutely amazing. absolutely amazing. And what's not on this list, and I should have put on here, is the Northern Beat poets who helped amazingly, but they're thanked, and the anthology, and the regulars at the York Spoken Word Open Mic who amazingly helped me, and people that stopped and gave me £5 and £10 and sent £25. Michael Sendler, we did get it, darling. And so those are all the people. There's many names. Should we read them, Faye? Are we going to read them, or do people read them? Are we going to do it? We said we were going to do it. We're going to read them. Okay, we're going to read them. All right. So, and I'm going to read all the anonymized because these are how many people did this anonymously. Right. So thank you, generous crowdfunders, anonymous, and Crow Rudd, and Kathy Carson, and Mary Lucas Powell, and Luke, and Clive Osman, yes, and Anonymous, and Mal Thompson, and Naomi Jacobs, and Sophia B., and Helen Lee, and Kate Jenkinson, and Anonymous, and Rick Collier, and Anonymous, and Della Collins Cook, and Kimberly Evans, and Henry Thorpe, and Sarah Reeson, and Sammy Dowdle, that's my sister, and Joanne Susan Eden, and Anonymous, and I can't.
Douglas Lewis Smith.
That's it. I need you to do the Welsh, darling. And Claire Patel Campbell, and Annie Metcalf, and Catherine Jeans, and Joanne Foxton, and Anonymous, and Lawrence Tilley, and Anonymous, and Jenny Pascoe, and Kirsten Miller, and Mick and Mike and Fiona Hildred, and Vron McIntyre, yes, and Susie Aspel, and Anonymous. Oh, did I do that wrong? Yes, Anonymous. And Liam?
Neve Lindevere. Hello, they're watching over
thank
there.
you, Neve Lindevere. And Anonymous, and P.C. Words, and Jenny Pascoe.
again.
Yay, again. I told you she did it twice.
Yeah,
you
she
didn't
did.
believe me. And Mark Boyd, and Dee Dickens, and Stuart Carswell,
Yes.
and Julia Sansby. Oh, it's Connor's mom. And Debbie Hunter, and Michael
That's
J.
my neighbor.
Fielding, Sarah Peplow, too awesome. This is a who's who of the best in literature, I swear to God. And Stuart Larner, and Beth Hartley, William Anderson, Muriel Mason, Ann and Tracy, Sarah Crutwell, and Anonymous, and Debbie Hunter,
again.
and Leanne Moden, yes, Jessica Rose, Hugh Bernays, and Anonymous, and
Neve Lindevere. Thank you,
Neve
Neve.
Lindevere. And that is just the list. And that's who helped. And then you guys, by coming tonight, do this. And more slides. This is very important to do. If you've liked some of the different queer sounds you've heard tonight, and you've read tonight, and you've been here for tonight, there's the Sad Poets Doorstep, the best named club ever. We've got Crow here to talk to you about it. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Insta. You can find them on YouTube. Wow. All right, so we've got Sad Poets Doorstep Club. Is a queer and trans-run mental health-themed poetry open mic, currently based at the Portal Bookshop in York, an amazing space. Right, amazing. Their aim is to encourage, promote, and connect marginalized poets in the scene, provide a space for the darker elements of performance poetry, and stoke the fires of creativity in York and online.
Yes.
Let me get back there. So this runs the first Thursday of every month from 6 to 9 p.m. The Sad Poets Doorstep. There is one on December 7th from 6 to 9 at Portal Bookshop. And it looks like you've got a scary theme to Sandy Claus. Yes. It looks really, it could be like, you know, the monster one, the troll.
Krampus.
So, yeah, that's going to be totally worth it. I love Portal Bookstore. Lolly lives upstairs from my daughter, and every time I turn around, they were scurrying out with books to give to everyone and to sell and do, and it was just, we all read stuff during COVID or listened to books on tape. And I think there's one more. There might be. I don't know. I don't know anymore. And yes, actually, and thank you to Alligraphic Press. Yay! Woohoo! And Sterile Books, that's Alan and me. York Disability Week for supporting us. And all of you, dear audience, good night.